Between losing her husband during their honeymoon and living in one of the most beautiful homes in Sunset Valley, Agnes Crumplebottom has always been a mysterious Sims character to me. And I actually didn't realize how much history there is in this one Sim. And it kind of blew my mind to figure it all out. And I don't know, she's a Sim that I would love to play at some point, and just go further into her story. And I just kind of want to talk about it a little bit because it kind of blew my mind how much history there is with just this one Sim. So let's talk about her. She does, of course, have a description when you click on her house in The Sims 3, and the description reads, Agnes Crumplebottom hasn't changed her last name to her husband's when an unfortunate accident on her honeymoon ended the marriage. Between growing bitterness and her husband's ghost scaring away gentlemen callers, only the bravest Sim will ever try to win her heart and fortune now. Which is interesting, which leads me to believe that her husband is he's on the lot. He's buried on the lot, as we saw. So it wouldn't surprise me if his ghost does kind of show up from time to time, which is kind of funny. Now, I'm actually going to kind of talk about SimWiki, which has probably the most about Agnes Crumplebottom in The Sims 3, her biography, I guess. So I'm just going to be referring to that a lot. One of the things that they bring up is that she resembles a World War II widow with the blonde hair and the Betty bangs and her outfit, and I 100% agree. She reminds me so much of a World War II widow. I think that's what they were going for, because they hit that right on the spot, big time, which is kind of sad because I think her husband drowned to death, because that's what the little icon on his headstone says. So that was kind of interesting that they made her look like that. So it's around 1940s that her style and hair and just look in general kind of give off. But the house that they live in, or she lives in, I should say, is quite modern. So it's quite the contrast from what she looks like to her home. And she is the sister of Cornelia Goth, who's married to Gunther, whatever the heck his name is. Yeah, which is kind of crazy. I did not know that until this past year that they were related, which is kind of cool. And yeah, her husband's name was Eric, but she didn't take his last name during the honeymoon because, he passed away so quickly. So I guess she just kind of kept her own name, which is kind of sad. Of course, one of the saddest things that a lot of people bring up when they play her, or in the gameplay of going into her home, is that there is an unfinished nursery, which is really sad. I actually noticed that somewhat recently as well, within the past year, that there was a nursery in the house and that it wasn't complete, which is just really, really sad. Clearly they were planning on having kids, and then it just didn't happen because he died, and so the nursery just never got completed. Even though she does have quite the sad backstory, I don't think it needs to be so horrible for her. She is still technically a young adult. She's only a few days away when you start playing her in The Sims from being an actual adult. So she has a lot of time to meet somebody. Maybe she doesn't and she adopts a baby or something. I've seen people do that with her as well. There's a lot of different ways you could kind of go about playing her. And I think anyway is just kind of fun because she does have very sad backstory. So to do things with her and whatnot is just kind of fun to do. She does have the loner trait, so she likes to be alone, and I think that plays into the sad kind of backstory that she has. She just likes to be alone, and there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people have brought back her husband through some kind of I don't know. I want to say elixir, but I don't think it is. But he comes back as a ghost, which is really sad. Um, some people make her remarry again. The possibilities are really endless with her. Another big thing that I've seen and actually just noticed myself is that she's in The Sims 4. She is not a playable character, but she is. She looks very grumpy, but it kind of suits how she is in The Sims 3 just because she is kind of a grumpy sim in The Sims 3, so it makes sense. But I really like Agnes Crumplebottom, and I think she has a really interesting backstory, and I think she could just be a lot of fun to play as and carry on kind of her story throughout her couple years and I don't know, I just really like her. I think she would be a lot of fun to play. Yeah, I don't know, I just love her backstory. It's really captivating and sad and just I just love it so much. It's what gives The Sims 3 so much depth. Not only is it just the open world and whatnot, but these Sims truly have stories behind them. And I just really love that so much. Something I also want to bring up is just the architecture of the home. I'm actually in The Sims, like I'm playing it right now. This is me controlling it. I just want to show you around the house because the home is truly beautiful. The front is super cool looking, but the back is where the party's at. But I just kind of want to show you guys around the home. I'm sure a lot of people, if you played in Sunset Valley, of course, or The Sims 3, you know where she is, of course. She's like right here. This is her home. She's right on the cliffs, kind of out looking towards the ocean. She has one of the nicest lots in the game for sure. I mean, like, wow. Like, look at this. Look at the back of this house. Oh my days, dude, it is so beautiful. So out front here, you have her little fancy sports car, which I love. It gives her some pizzazz to her, and I really like that a lot. Over here is where Eric is. Eric, darling. Yeah. Oh my God, what just happened? What? Hello? Whoa, wait a second. Oh my God. That was horrifying. Woo! Okay. Oh my goodness. Don't let me do that again. Okay. This is her husband. I probably clicked pick up grave. Whoops. Yeah, this is where he is. He drowned, of course. There's the little thing with the hand with the waves. There's not much about the backstory, and another thing I found kind of weird is that in not relationships, in her family tree, when you click on her, it does not bring him up, but it brings up her parents who are dead, not her husband. I thought that was a little strange. I don't know why they did that way because they were married. So I don't know. Like, I don't know. I kind of wish they did. I wish they had him in the family tree, but they don't. They have Gunther. Did I say his name right in the... I don't know. Anyways, there's his parents. Yeah, quite the family tree. Yeah, I don't know why they would leave out her husband, Agnes's husband. Anyways, I just want to go through the house a little bit. This house is really pretty. I think it could use some updating, obviously. Like, there's a lot of patterns everywhere. But the way it's laid out and the way that they decorated it is pretty cool. It's interesting because it also has this like gothic vibe to it in the inside, which the outside just doesn't have, which I found kind of interesting. I like that a lot. It shows that maybe their parents were kind of like that, which is why like her and her sister kind of like this goth medieval kind of look, I guess. But yeah, this home is huge. The dining room is beautiful. Yeah, it's kind of sad to think of her in this house all alone. Then of course we got the upstairs. We have the beautiful master bedroom. We have like a little living room and the bed, and of course the ensuite. And then over here is where the nursery is. This nursery is so sad. I love how they like made it so like they only got like half the flooring done. Like obviously they were putting this little carpet and the wallpaper with the sheep, and yeah, it's just kind of heartbreaking to see because you're like, oh wow, she doesn't have any kids, and there's just like a half finished nursery here, in her husband's grave, and I don't know, it's really sad. It is interesting to think of her kind of getting with somebody else and like I don't know, maybe having a family with somebody else. That's a little like I don't know. I just can't picture it in my head, but I would love to see that for her. I think that would be kind of interesting to make happen. In The Sims 2, I believe she's also in The Sims 2, but she has like a different husband who had died. I don't know if they kind of changed up her backstory or what on that one. I'll let you do the research yourself on that one. Sims Wiki has like everything about this sim, which is really interesting read actually. And they kind of go in depth with her throughout the Sim games. Another thing I kind of wish is that like in The Sims 4, she is in The Sims 4, but she's not playable. I thought it would be interesting, though, to see if she had, like, kids or anything, but from what I can tell, she doesn't, and you can't really, like, look at her family tree because she's not a playable Sim. So it's assumed that it's just kind of like her and her cousin, Agatha, I think is what her name was, in The Sims 4, just kind of living together. And that's just kind of the end of that. But yeah, I don't know. If you've ever played with her, tell me down below what you kind of did. Like I said, she's still only a young adult, and she has like a couple days before she ages up into an adult, which is like, you know, you can still get married and have kids, of course. So I don't know. Tell me if you have played with her before. What did you make kind of happen? I would love to give her like a little makeover because this like 1940s widow is like really sad. She's she ran to her husband's grave. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. Another thing I noticed is that if we pause, what a face. He kind of looks like a land grab, if I'm not mistaken. He looks like a land grab to me. I forget his name, but he looks like they have like I think it might be the husband. I don't remember. Is it a land grab? Wait. Or no, it's a bunch. What's I forget their names. You know, the Bunch family. There's like the Brady Bunch, you know, there's a shit ton of them. Single mom's house. Oh my god. Is that what that's actually called? Wait. What? Oh no, this is the French. Why is it the single mom house, girl? What? Where do the that's just an empty house. Oh my god, I'm losing my mind. I don't know where the Bunches live. I apparently have never played this game before. Yeah, you know, he kind of looks like that. He reminds me of like one of their family members. I don't remember who. Anyways, yeah, really sad. I still don't know why he doesn't come up in the family tree. That bothers me. But yeah, I want to know, what did you do to her in your game? And did you kind of give her like a happy ending? Did you just kind of like let her live throughout her days? I don't know if she ever meets anybody if you just kind of leave her throughout your game. I don't believe so. I've played in Sunset Valley for a few generations once before, and I don't remember her ever getting remarried or having a kid, which is kind of sad. So she doesn't automatically do it. The only way that she's going to really ever have a family is if really you play her and you get her to get married and have a family, really, which is okay. I kind of wish she kind of gave herself a little happy ending, but yeah, I love the backstory a lot. And she's not the only sim to have quite the extensive backstory. I would love to go into some history of some other sims, not so much just around like Sunset Valley, though the sims in Sunset Valley definitely have the biggest backstories to them, but there is quite a few that do have interesting backstories that are very interesting to just kind of read from and get to know their history, especially if they were in previous sim games and all that stuff. It's just really interesting. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun kind of deep diving into Miss Agnes Crumplebottom and her kind of tragic story. I hope you all enjoyed this different kind of video. And tell me what you think down below. Tell me other Sims that you maybe like to see. I don't know if this is going to be like a series, but it could be kind of interesting to continue on and look at other Sims throughout town. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Leave a comment down below, and I really do try to respond to like 99.9% of them. I love talking to you guys, but yeah, I'll talk to you all in the very next video. Bye, guys.